Once hailed as a beacon of economic ascent and technological prowess, China now stands on the precipice of a perfect storm. From the looming threat of catastrophe at the Three Gorges Dam to the devastating floods in Beijing, from an economic collapse to simmering social unrest, the nation is grappling with deep fissures in its political, economic, and social fabric. In 2025, the secrets long concealed by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, are no longer mere whispers, but a resounding cry of distorted truths. Behind the glossy proclamations of growth and stability lies a grim reality where ordinary citizens bear the heavy cost of both natural disasters and human failures. The Three Gorges Dam, a geological time bomb. In Hubei province, the Three Gorges Dam, the world's largest hydroelectric structure, has become the epicenter of fears about a potential catastrophe. Perched atop the unstable Yangtze tectonic plate, the dam faces persistent minor tremors from ancient fault lines. Just days after an 8.7 magnitude earthquake struck Kamchatka, Russia, over 20 small aftershocks were recorded in Hubei, Sichuan, and Yunnan. 4 of these sent seismic waves directly to the dam's reservoir, raising alarms about the safety of this colossal 39-million-ton structure. The Yangtze fault system, lying directly beneath the dam, is described by geologists as a ticking time bomb. While Chinese engineers once boasted that the dam could withstand a 7.0 magnitude earthquake, it has never been tested by a major quake in the region. A leaked report from the Chinese Academy of Geological Sciences reveals that minor tectonic shifts, even just a few millimeters annually, have accelerated since the 2008 Sichuan earthquake, which claimed over 80,000 lives. These shifts, combined with the pressure of 45 billion cubic meters of water in the reservoir, heighten the risk of structural failure. Visible cracks on the dam's surface have grown more pronounced in recent years, though authorities dismiss them as normal phenomena. Independent scientists, however, warn that repeated small tremors could trigger a resonance effect, weakening the dam's foundation. A Japanese simulation suggests that a collapse of the Three Gorges Dam could unleash a flood that would engulf Wuhan within 6 hours, threatening the lives of over 600 million people downstream along the Yangtze River. The immense water pressure during the rainy season, when the reservoir reaches its maximum height of 175 meters, exacerbates risks of erosion and hidden crack expansion. A study from the China Institute of Geophysics warns that seismic waves with an amplitude of just 0.2 G, combined with weak bedrock and high water levels, could triple the stress on the dam's foundation joints. The interconnected fault systems stretching from Kamchatka through northern China and deep into the mainland act as conduits for seismic energy. The Kamchatka quake, 4,600 kilometers away, sent geological ripples to Hubei, much like a pebble disturbing a pond. Geologists fear that a 6.0 magnitude quake or stronger during the rainy season, coupled with upstream landslides, could awaken the Yangtze Fault, triggering an unimaginable disaster. The Chinese government insists the dam is completely safe, but in the realm of nature, nothing is absolute. Beijing's flood disaster, a wound, still raw. While the Three Gorges Dam grapples with seismic threats, Beijing, the heart of China, is still reeling from the catastrophic floods of July 26, 2025. In the Liulisi area of Huairu district, a sudden flash flood transformed a once idyllic camping destination into a muddy graveyard. A torrent of water, described as a wall dozens of meters high, swept away homes, vehicles, and lives. Locals recounted, "The flood came at midnight, obliterating everything. Houses were torn apart, cars floated like toys, and the entire area was buried in mud and debris. Thousands of vehicles were submerged or buried, bridges collapsed, and homes were reduced to rubble. According to civilian sources, hundreds perished in the muddy deluge, yet official figures from Beijing authorities remain contentious. By July 31st, the government reported only 44 deaths and 9 missing, including 31 victims from a nursing home in Taishitun Village, Miyun District. Independent journalists and survivors, however, claim the true toll is far higher. An anonymous source revealed, on July 28 alone, over 100 bodies were recovered from the flood zone, yet state media initially claimed 0 casualties. The stench of mud and decaying animal remains has rendered the air in Liulisi suffocating. Rescue teams, supported by over 60 trained dogs, combed through the wreckage in search of the missing, but hope of finding survivors is all but extinguished. A netizen named Jinli Yubao shared a heartbreaking story. A family camping was swept away by the flood, with the mother and child missing and the father's fate unknown. Such stories are the painful reality for thousands in Beijing, where the grief of loss lingers unabated. Economic crisis, shattered trust. Alongside these natural disasters, China is mired in an unprecedented economic crisis. The economy, once celebrated for its meteoric growth, is now in freefall. A tsunami of bankruptcies and layoffs has swept through industries, from technology to manufacturing. Millions, from recent graduates to middle-aged workers, face widespread unemployment. In Shenzhen, once a vibrant tech hub, finding decent work is now akin to searching for gold in a desert. A 21-year-old university graduate shared, "I carry 200 sacks of sand daily, each weighing 2 kilograms, for 40 trips, just to earn 10 yuan. This is my reality after 4 years of college." Young people, including master's degree holders from prestigious universities, are forced into jobs like food delivery or manual labor to survive. A master's graduate from a top-tier 211 university said bitterly, "I have a young child and elderly parents to support. After 8 months of job hunting, I became a delivery rider. If I'd known, I wouldn't have studied so hard." Many are driven to live under bridges, elderly women, young girls, unable to afford rent. "What kind of era is this? The world has lost its warmth," one resident lamented. The government claims a 5.3% economic growth rate for the first half of 2025, but this figure is widely doubted by citizens and experts alike. Stock prices surged briefly after the announcement, but soon plummeted, with 4,694 companies losing value and only 675 gaining. "No one believes them anymore," one citizen said. "Earning money is harder than eating." While civil servants and government employees enjoy stable incomes, ordinary workers are grateful just to survive another day. Covering up the truth. The CCP's shadow. The CCP's lack of transparency runs like a thread through these crises. At the Three Gorges Dam, data on tectonic movements and structural stress is tightly controlled. Independent scientists have called for advanced radar and accelerometer systems to detect risks early, but these pleas seem to fall on deaf ears. Instead, the government repeatedly asserts that the dam is completely safe, despite growing evidence of cracks and increasing seismic activity. Similarly, in Beijing, residents accuse authorities of suppressing information about the flood's death toll, releasing only managed figures to pacify the public. A Chinese lawyer, Zheng, stated, "I don't trust the casualty figures the government provides, and I believe many Chinese feel the same. Remember the 2021 Zhengzhou floods? The real numbers were always far higher than official reports." This opacity not only fuels social unrest, but also erodes public trust in the government. "They used to at least pretend to care," a Guangdong resident said. "Now they don't even bother acting." Amid the economic crisis, the CCP's promises of great victories only deepen public despair. Critical data on geology, casualties, and the economy is tightly controlled with little public transparency, leaving citizens feeling abandoned in their own country. Social fallout. The pain of ordinary people. The consequences of these crises extend beyond material losses to profound emotional wounds. In Beijing, flood survivors face an uncertain future. Many have lost homes and possessions with no insurance to rebuild. A resident of Dongyu village pointed to flood marks over 2 meters high on a wall and said, "The entire village was submerged. All our crops, trees, and homes were swept away." In cities like Shenzhen and Guangdong, unemployment has plunged millions into poverty. Many pawn their homes, cars, even phones to survive. People still order food delivery because they have to eat. That's the last flicker of the economy, one resident noted. Yet even delivery jobs are scarce, as summer students and the unemployed compete fiercely. Personal stories starkly illustrate the people's suffering. A young man from Jiangxi shared, "I'm penniless, haven't eaten in days, and can't afford a bus ticket home. I don't know what to do." An elderly woman living under a bridge in Guangdong said bitterly, "We invested so much in life, and now it's all gone." But in the face of disasters and crises, survival is what matters most. Conclusion: an uncertain future. China in 2025 is a land of stark contrasts. A nation once proud of its economic and technological might now faces unprecedented challenges. The seismic risks at the Three Gorges Dam, the devastating floods in Beijing, and the economic collapse have exposed deep flaws in the CCP's governance. The lack of transparency, suppression of truth, and hollow promises only deepen public discontent. As of August 8, 2025, China stands at a historical crossroads. Can it weather this perfect storm, or will it sink deeper into crisis? The answer lies not in fabricated growth figures or grandiose claims, but in the hidden truths and silenced voices of millions. As the Three Gorges Dam trembles before nature's might and citizens struggle to survive, one thing is clear. China faces an uncertain future, where both nature and humanity are tested to their limits.